Now, let's switch it all the way back to football.
Football.
To football. So we're going to go over week 9 of the NFL season and then give our week 10 predictions. All right. So there's a couple games that we want to talk about briefly to, just kind of give our recap of it. Browns, Bengals. So the Browns don't have Odell Beckham, right?
Which is very weird because I feel like the Browns always play better without Odell, and they showed that.
I've said it to people, and they're like, "Well, no, maybe it's just Baker's just bad." It's the weirdest thing because I don't want to say that it's Odell holding this team back, but it's an epiphany.
It happens every time though. When he doesn't play, they play better.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, and you probably will never see it again where an elite receiver just makes an offense worse, and it's not because the receiver himself is now like washed or bad. It's just how he works and fits with the scheme.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield opens up a lot more without Odell there for some reason. I mean, he passed now. He was 14 of 21, great percentage, 218 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. One big one to Donovan Peoples-Jones, who was a young receiver that stepped up last year when Odell went out. They still have Jarvis Landry. They have Nick Chubb. Once they get Kareem Hunt back, they got a solid roster.
And I don't think that the Bengals
they suffered their third loss in a row.
I don't necessarily think that they lost this game. I think the Browns just won this game.
No, the Browns came out with some energy.
Obviously, Joe Burrow, he threw 2 interceptions. One of them was a pick 6. Mm-hmm. But Denzel Ward is a good player, man. So
yeah, I would agree.
Just got to give it to the Browns.
I could agree to that. In the end, Cleveland just came out on fire.
Yeah.
Offensively, defensively. Like you said, Denzel Ward had that 99-yard pick 6. Denzel Ward has always been an underrated DB. You got John Johnson at the safety spot. It's still a good Browns team. The only question was what's happening with the offense. It just felt so inconsistent. And then now if we see them start succeeding at this level again, just like how they did last year when they lost Odell, it's just going to be one of those weird things.
Yeah.
It's just quite literally, it's one of those things you can't explain. Unless we see Odell on the Rams just not, and maybe Odell really doesn't have it, but I don't believe that. I truly don't believe that. It's just one of those weird situations. But the Bengals suffering their third loss, especially after being hailed a top team in the AFC, is concerning.
I think it's safe to say the Bengals are not a playoff team.
Yeah, they tricked me, man. Yeah. They got me. I said it every single game that they won. You can recall every single moment. I said, don't fall for it. It's a trick. Don't fall for it. It's a trick. And then they finally beat the Ravens. And then they give my respect. I researched that team. I got every single defensive player name, and I wanted to give them all their props and their respect. And then they lose to the Jets.
Yeah, it's over.
And then they lose to the Browns, so it's their second loss in a row, and now they're going to be playing the Raiders.
It's over.
It's
over.
More power to you, man. You got me. You got me, Cincinnati. You got me. But yes, I think I'm going to go back on my narrative here that this team's just not ready.
Yeah.
It's a team that's showing a lot of promise and a great future.
But not right now.
I don't think it's ready yet, though.
No.
They might still slip into the playoffs, but they're not going to be a top contender just yet. Let's hold off on that. Next one. We kind of talked about it. Broncos versus Cowboys.
Yeah, we kind of already talked about this. The Cowboys didn't really score. If you really watched the game, they scored all in the end.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So basically, the Browns shut them out.
I mean,
the Broncos.
Yeah, the Cowboys just didn't come to play that day. I don't think the Broncos won. Mm-hmm. Cowboys lost this game.
Yeah, and I know it's a weird statement to always say, but the Cowboys fell off. You had Dak Prescott miss CeeDee Lamb on a wide open catch. It was just errant throws.
It's not like the offense was stuck.
Yeah.
They were moving the ball, and then they would just not end up scoring.
And it was a weird situation. The Cowboys, too, went for it twice on 4th down on the 2 early drives to start the game, and they didn't convert them, so it ended up in stops. But the Cowboys are moving the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It's just one of those weird situations where it just wasn't their day. Credit, though, to the Broncos. And they're sitting at 5-4, so I want to ask you, can the Broncos still sneak their way into the playoffs, do you think?
No, there's no way that they stick into the playoffs because they have the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Raiders that they have to play twice. That's 6 games, and I believe they've only played one of those, maybe 2. They played 2 of those, so they still have 4 more losses pretty much coming their way.
They've only played the Raiders so far and only lost to the Raiders.
Yeah.
So they still have the Raiders one more time. They still have the Chargers 2 more times, and they have the Chiefs 2 more times.
So they have 5 more losses coming their way.
So that's what you're just gonna. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a no.
I mean, looking at the schedule, those are really the only teams that are scary, though.
Yeah.
In the end, this team suffers 5 more losses. It's 9 losses. It could be 8 and 9. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No. I'm gonna have to agree with you. And it's a little more because of the offensive inconsistency. They're wasting a good defense, I think. You know, Vic Fangio's leading this.
They'll definitely lose one of the games that is kind of iffy as well too. Mm-hmm. So they're not gonna.
They're very inconsistent.
They're not gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, okay, I can agree to that. Just inconsistent offense is gonna hold them back. Raiders versus Giants. Do you want to just take the lead on this one?
Yeah, let me just tell you guys this. Obviously, you know, we lost to the Giants. Oh my gosh, you guys suck. Calm down. Can we calm down? You guys know all the drama that we went through. We just lost Henry Ruggs.
Damon Arnett now.
And Damon Arnett. You know, he likes having Call of Duty guns and stuff. But
okay, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to say one more statement. The Raiders had 5 picks in the top 100 last year.
Yeah.
And 4 of those picks are gone.
Yeah. We only have 1 of those players still. Mm-hmm. But the Raiders did not have speed at receiver. And that was the only issue that we really had. If you've seen Derek Carr, he did have 2 interceptions. I was mad at him.
One pick six.
Yeah, I did have a lot of frustration at Derek Carr. Then I realized and thought about it. None of the receivers had any separation. Now, on top of that, I have to give credit to the Giants. They have good defensive backs.
Mm-hmm.
But
James Bradbury always been underrated.
Yeah. And Xavier McKinney, he's he has potential as well. But nobody was there to take the top off. But we fixed that. And we got Deshaun Jackson from the Rams. And on top of that, I don't think that Deshaun Jackson is going to be Henry Ruggs, obviously. He can't do the high balls that Henry Ruggs can do. He's not as fast as he is.
Not as this career. Not at this point in his career.
But Deshaun Jackson can get more open on routes than Henry Ruggs can.
And he'll bring attention on that.
Yeah, so he should help us out a lot. I'm not too worried about the Raiders. We still almost won the game, which shows me that we still can be good. And that's all that really mattered to me. I am disappointed that we lost.
I just have to say for the Raiders, seeing it from these losses are concerning though, because these aren't losses that you can't afford.
Yeah, because we do have some tough players.
You got the Bengals still next week, and we know the Bengals can give competition. Actually,
we have the Chiefs this week. Then the Bengals.
Yeah, you have the Chiefs. The Bengals have a bye this week, but then you got them after the bye, which means the Bengals have more time to prepare for you.
Then we got to play the Cowboys.
So, like, my only concern is I actually like this Raiders team. It's the off-field issues that are affecting the team mentally, and it's the fact that they're losing games that they can't afford to lose.
Yeah,
especially they need these games to kind of give them a little bit of a leeway.
Yeah.
So that's a big loss. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. Next one, Vikings versus Ravens. There's not much to say about the Ravens more so than what we already said about Lamar Jackson pretty much, right? In that sense, Lamar Jackson, 266 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but one of those interceptions was a tip pass anyways. And he also had 120 yards rushing. He's carrying the offense, right? So there's not much to say about that. I want to talk more about the Vikings. This is a Vikings team that is too talented right now to be 3-5. Excuse me. They are way too talented to be 3-5.
I think their defense is a big struggle.
Defense is a big struggle in the secondary. It's not the same as it was, back when they had Anthony Harris. Harrison Smith is still a viable safety, but he's not the elite safety that he once was. I like the linebacker core though still. Eric Kendrick and Anthony Barr is still a great linebacker core, and I like their D-line. It's just with that secondary, but I don't know. This offense shuts down in the second half. We have seen it all this year, and there's only one thing that I can really point to this problem: coaching.
I already knew you like talking about coaches.
Well, I don't want to hate on coaches, especially because I liked Zimmer a lot of his career in Minnesota. I always vouched for the guy. I thought he was a great coach, but scheming wise, he's just been off sync this year. And then you can blame the offense on Kubiak as well. This is a team that's, one of the top scoring teams in the first half. And then once you get into the second half, they just become stagnant. dead in the water. And you saw it again in this game when they started off with a 17-10 lead, going into it, and then they can't score again.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, they only scored one touchdown to start off. It was a kick return too, so it wasn't even the offense driving down the field. It was a kick return, and then they finally got an offensive score when they drove down the field to tie the game into overtime. Coaching's got to take blame for this, because this is way too talented of a team right now, a team that's playing way too good. Let me show you the stat line. Kirk Cousins right now has 16 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Does that sound like a stat line of a quarterback that should be losing right now?
No, not really.
Not really, right?
Not enough touchdowns I would like, but
in the end,
interceptions.
In the end, he's on pace for a 30 passing touchdown season, which is considered very good, right? And then you have Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen.
You should be pretty good.
You should be putting up numbers.
Yeah.
So there's two parts that I have to. It's Zimmer's defense and it's Kubiak's offense. They might have to go after this season. I hate to say it because I'm such a Zimmer fan, but they're not coaching well. They're losing this team games. These are games that this team should not be losing. They shouldn't have lost to the Bengals in Cincinnati. They had that game. They shouldn't have lost to Arizona. That one could be blamed more on the kicker, to be honest, but they shouldn't have lost that one.
Yeah,
so they're looking like the Falcons of last year.
I think it's mainly simply the defense. The offense does put up numbers, like 30 points. It's not bad. Mm-hmm. But defense, you can't allow 30 points. That's the biggest issue, I think.
Okay, I could agree to that 100%. And that's really who I wanted to talk about. There's nothing to really talk about when it comes to the Ravens, because we know...
they're a talented team. They're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
And just so to mention, Minnesota is a bottom 25 defense. So, yeah, on Travis's point right there. Yeah. It's rough. And that's been the case now for a couple years. It's 2 years in a row now. Next game. Packers versus Chiefs. The Chiefs barely slipped by the Jordan Love-led Packers.
Which we kind of already spoke
13-7.
We know that Aaron Rodgers, if he was in this game, Chiefs would have lost.
Yes. Because
Jordan Love still almost won this game.
So then, so I don't want to talk so much about the Packers. I got to praise the Packers' defense, first of all. This is the defense now that has stepped up into the top 10 and looks much better than they have in previous years. Kansas City. Should they be concerned with this win? Which is weird to say, but should they be... Does this win show a lot?
100%. Because from watching the game, they scored 13 in the first half. How much did they score in the second half? 0 points. And you know that the Chiefs are notably known as the team that will start off very slow and kill you in the second half. Mm-hmm. And now they don't do that anymore.
Patrick Mahomes, 20 of 37, which is close to 50% passing percentage, which is bad. And he had a lot of plays that could have been turnover worthy as well.
Yeah, so I just got to say the Chiefs they have 0 chance of winning the Super Bowl.
You think so? 100%.
0 chance of winning the Super Bowl. Slight chance of making it to the playoffs with the way that they play right now.
I can't argue. I just have to mention too the add-on at the end. It's just this Chiefs offense, maybe we got to realize too, is, this Chiefs offense has just been figured out because it's very gimmicky. Trick plays, passing designs that get you open. They're not an offense that dominates you.
Yeah.
They're not an offense like Tampa Bay that just is overpowering you. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to mention about that. Cardinals 49ers. I only want to mention one thing, and that Kyle Shanahan is to blame. Again, it's bad coaching. We came out with a bad offensive scheme. We are outcoached defensively as well. Offensively, we're outcoached. We just came out flat. And then I hate that Shanahan tried to deflect this on the players. So what I don't want to get too deep into this because I'm only going to be mentioning what I've said in so many games this year, is that Kyle Shanahan is to blame. And I want to see Shanahan on the hot seat with a chance of getting fired. I want to. He shouldn't be hailed as this just because he's an offensive mastermind, and he's not looking like it so far because that offense does not look like it at all. Also, so I want to see Shanahan on the hot seat. Also, I want to see Trey Lance in at this point.
Yeah, he needs to because the season's kind of over.
I want to see the Niners do with what the Bears are doing with Justin Fields.
Just play him.
Just get him experience. And we see Justin Fields improving big time. Justin Fields had a good game against the Pittsburgh offense. So you see improvement. I want to see that now from Trey Lance. Mm-hmm. So that's the only thing I need to mention about that. The biggest game of the week, probably the biggest upset too, Tennessee Titans versus the LA Rams. Tennessee went into LA. I know LA has 16 points, but they scored it at the end when it was, just over. They scored it with 24 seconds left at the end of the game. So that didn't mean anything.
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans looked great. That's why I mean, you have to give them credit.
Defensively,
because of what they did. But at the same time, it does scare me that they don't have Derrick Henry. It does scare me a little bit because it's a little bit of a different scheme. So we'll see how teams adjust to this new way that they play.
So for me, I just want to mention, yes, offensively, it's still concerning not having Derrick Henry, especially because they only had 29 yards rushing from their leading rusher, Foreman. But if this defense keeps playing like this, they're going to be fine. And they're going to be in a position to get that number 1 seed and then still get Derrick Henry back to help out the offense. Ryan Tannehill's playing much better right now. And A.J. Brown is starting to find his rhythm again, being that number 1 receiver. And once Julio Jones, I think, of course, he's injury prone, but now he came back for his first game. If he could stay healthy and get in rhythm, we know who Julio is. His problem's injuries. This defensive line and this secondary has to be praised because they had 5 sacks this game against the Rams. Justin Simmons had 3 of those sacks. Harold Landry had a half a sack. This is a good D-line. This is a solid D-line. And then, again, it goes to the secondary, and really the main catalyst of that is the guy leading it all. Kevin Byard, the best safety in the league right now, who's playing like the best safety in the league right now. So this defense is really to be given a lot of credit. Now, on the Rams' end, would you be concerned of this loss a little bit?
I don't really care. I just feel like they just didn't come out to play, kind of like the Cowboys.
You felt like it was just
they just got better. So, I mean,
the only thing I want to be concerned about a little bit with the Rams is that O-line. You better hope that this doesn't become a consistency now because this O-line could be the only thing holding this team back. And it hasn't been the same Rams O-line that it was before when they had Jared Goff and stuff.
Yeah, I think that obviously with O-line, it's very important in football. But I think O-line a lot has to do with coaching. So coaching, they have one of the greatest coaches in the league right now, Sean McVay. I think they'll figure it out. They'll figure out ways to maybe get Matthew Stafford out the pocket more. Yeah. Or they'll figure out leaving a running back in. I think they'll figure it out.
So I can agree in a sense because Stafford, too, even when you see it on the stat line, Stafford has been sacked 12 times this season. 5 of those sacks came in this one game. So before that, they've been doing pretty good. They just need to come out with a little more energy because the one problem I have with the Rams, though, is because the 2 games that they lost have been big games. Yeah, they beat Tampa Bay at home, and that was a big game, big hype-up game. But then they host the Cardinals, and they lose to Arizona badly, and they lose to Tennessee badly, both at home, both big-time games against big opponents. So I need to see them step up a little more in those bigger games. Yeah. They're doing what they should be doing, beating the smaller teams, but they need to step it up now when it comes to those elite teams. Moving on, let's go to Week 10. So now it's going to be an interesting Week 10. A little shorter week. We have a lot of teams on the bye this week. But let's start off with our weekly predictions. Now, I'm down. I was down 81-77 last week. I had a rough week with 2 of my predictions being wrong. This week, 2 of my predictions were also wrong because I predicted the Bills and the Cowboys to both win. And they didn't win. They both disappointed me shamefully. So I'm down right now 88-81. So Travis has taken the lead and just ran away with it right now. But I do expect to get this back at some point. So let's start it with this week right now. First one. Ravens versus Dolphins.
Ravens, lock.
I will have the Ravens as a lock too. This is happening on the time when we are filming it. It's Thursday Night Football. Next one. The Falcons have mounted back and now broke even at 4-4 going into Dallas. But the Cowboys just had a rough loss. Who do you have?
Cowboys.
I have the Cowboys as well. I think.
I don't think this is much of a debate.
in the end, it's still not as strong of a Falcons team as I truly believe. It's a good team, though. It's being led by a great quarterback in Matt Ryan, but it's not fully there yet. Saints, Titans now. New Orleans without. They didn't get up Odell Beckham, and they have Trevor Siemian at the quarterback spot.
Titans.
Yeah, this is in Tennessee.
They're a top team.
This is in Tennessee, and this is my top team in the NFL, so I have to go with the Titans. Jaguars, Colts in Indianapolis.
It's kind of iffy. It's kind of not. I'm going to go with the Colts.
I'm locking the Colts.
Oh.
I'm going to lock the Colts.
It's slightly bold. It's a little bold.
Nah, I still... Remember, I've always... I guess for me, it's not...
You think the Colts are better than the record shows?
I've said it so many times this season, I'm just going to be repeating myself if I say it again. But I like this Colts team. Next one. Oh, this is a good one. This is my game of the week. Browns-Patriots in New England. I think
that's going to be a good one. I think the Browns are taking them. Don't have them as a lock, but I think it's an easy win for the Browns.
I think the Browns are going to win, but I think it's going to be a close game because I've seen New England compete against good teams.
They do compete, but I think they're going to handle this game.
I think so. I got the Browns in my game of the week. Bills, Jets.
I think I'll go with Jets. Or Bills as a lock.
Okay, yeah. So you're going Bills as a lock?
Bills as a lock.
I can't lock the Bills again after what they did to me, so I'm just going to go Bills. Next one. Lions go into Pittsburgh. The 0-8 Detroit Lions go against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are sitting at 5-3 right now.
Going with the Steelers. They kind of surprised me. I didn't realize that they had such a good record.
Yeah.
But they do. So.
I think they're playing against good, easy opponents, too, for me. I still don't see this as a...
This is another easy opponent.
Yes. So. I don't see them as a contending team for me. Next one. Buccaneers going into Washington, a repeat of the wild card matchup last year.
And it's going to be the same exact results.
Yes.
The Bucs.
I got the Bucs. Probably by a bigger margin this time. And I have a lock on the Bucs. So I'm trying to be very safe again with my locks. Hopefully this doesn't backfire on me again. Next one. Panthers, Cardinals. Carolina just signed Cam Newton.
Oh my gosh, Cam Newton. I don't care. I'm going with the Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray's back. Maybe.
He could be. It's a possibility. At this point, it's a possibility.
Doesn't matter. They're still
Either way,
lose.
This is a good Cardinals team,
I have no
obviously.
faith in you, Cam Newton.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to have to agree with him. Not that I don't have faith in Cam Newton. It's just I think the Cardinals are a better team. Next one. Vikings, Chargers.
Chargers as a lock.
Chargers as a lock.
It's a little bold there.
I think this is another contender. At least it's not my game of the week, but because the Vikings are probably going to give another fight and then lose in a dramatic fashion. I have the Chargers in a close one. Eagles, Broncos.
Going with the Broncos. I think they have a great defense and they'll hold up Jalen Hurts. He won't be able to do too much in this game.
I might regret this, but I'm going with the Eagles.
Okay.
I like the way the Eagles have played these past few weeks.
That's where we differ. We'll see if it haunts you, Drew.
Yeah. I like the way this Eagles team has played these past few weeks. I truly do. They've been competitive against the Chargers, and then they really had a big game against the Lions, which could be a game that can be considered helping them get in rhythm. You know what I mean? Help this offense figure themselves out. So I have to go with the Eagles here. Seahawks, Packers, Russell Wilson is back. Going into Green Bay.
You're going against the bad man.
So is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is also back. The Packers. Yeah, Packers. Definitely. Next one. Sunday Night Football. The Raiders have another primetime game hosting the Chiefs. Who do you have in this one, Travis?
That was easy.
I'm going with the Raiders. Now listen to me. The Chiefs suck. Patrick Mahomes sucks. Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes connection sucks. Got McDonald's Wi-Fi with that connection. Travis Kelce can't get off a press, and we got a lot of dudes that's going to press you. So I'm going with the Raiders. And I don't think that this is going to be a hard game.
Wow. I think it'll be a close game, but I just can't pull myself to go with the Chiefs right now with the way they've looked. I have to go Raiders, especially Raiders being at home. Next one. I just want to quickly go over this one. Rams, 49ers. If I had a fourth guarantee, I would guarantee the Rams, but I got to go with the Rams just as a normal Rams. I'm assuming the same.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the
This is the Rams coming off a bad loss last week, so they're a little more motivated, and this is a Niners team that just isn't very well coached right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the Niners show some promise in this game.
Maybe. Very, very high maybe.
Maybe we see Trey Lance.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I don't want to see Trey Lance in this game because I'd rather him not go against Von Miller and Aaron Donald.
Yeah, you don't want
twice
him
in
to
the
die.
season.
Right.
Yes, I'd like to see Trey Lance be ready for next season. Either way, that'll end off our show for today. Very interesting week of sports in total. Anything you want to say to end off the episode or not?
Just want to say thank you to Deshaun Jackson for helping us out. I appreciate you so much.
It's already giving thanks. What if Deshaun Jackson doesn't work out though?
Don't care. Thank you for coming to the Raiders. We love you, and we'll give you the Super Bowl this year, man.
Okay, that's where we're gonna have to stop it. Thank you for tuning into this episode. Thank Travis, of course, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.